rock. Steady, rockin' till the break of dawn.
What's going on? We here with my man, Intellectual Radio, the Ownership Club, 79 BBQ. We are live. Live, are we live?
Yes.
We're gonna be taking selections. We're gonna be taking song selections through commercial breaks. We live, are we ready?
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Time,
We are here, game time. They say if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. We are live here at 79th Street Barbecue in Calumet City. And we got some lovely customers in here. Shout out to Calumet City and the owners. We are here live every Saturday, the Ownership Club, Intellectual Radio, and we're bringing you small business, real estate, and a lot of different clarity. What's going on, Mr. Batts?
Hey, what's happening, my Ownership Club partner?
I'm good, man. And he's not a guest anymore. He's officially part of the Ownership Club. He's been with us for almost 2 years now. He's a real estate guru. He's been in the business for over 30 years. He's
43.
40. Oh, I'm sorry about that. 43 years. Mr. Frank Machos, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, brother. Glad to be here, man. Special shout out to 79th Street Barbecue Smoke Meats.
Yes.
I want some good food, man. It's the spot in Cal City. And shout out to my bartender Gina.
Okay.
Y'all need a good drink, a nice drink. Gina can take good care of you, man.
Okay. Shout out to Gina. I see you. So listen, today we had an amazing event today. Shout out to all the women, Monica Wilson. We had a back to school donation for school supplies. So we had an amazing event today. Go on to Facebook, carrying Big Money Bag Stevens. Could go on the Ownership Club. We had the fire department out here. We had step aerobics out here. We had a DJ out here, live entertainment. We had face painting for the kids. The fire department came out here. But when I tell you, Calumet City showed up, showed out. We had live entertainment, a phenomenal band. They came out and they did an hour and a half, 2-hour set. So shouts out to Alderwoman Wilson in Calumet City because she's doing some amazing things with Calumet City. So again, if you are in the area, if you've never been to 79th Street Barbecue Smoking Meats, you're missing. Because I'm gonna tell you what we do. Mondays, starting next week, we got rib tip mayhem, baby. We got mayhem, small rib tips, pork rib tips. Are y'all ready for this price? Mini tips. Are y'all ready for the mini tip mayhem?
We're ready.
It's $3.99 for pork rib tips. For turkey and beef, it's $4. For turkey only, it's $4.99. I'm gonna repeat that.
Bro,
it's
that's like
mini
stealing.
tip mayhem. $3.99 and $4.99 on Mondays. So next Monday, you better call and get it ordered because it's gonna go while supplies last. And then on Tuesdays, we got Taco Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, are you ready, Raymond? You ready for Wednesdays?
Throw that.
All you can eat rib tips for $19.99. Again, all you can eat
I'm
for
gonna starve all week.
$19.99.
I'm gonna starve all week for that, brother.
Now,
all you can eat.
all you can eat. All you can eat.
Fast all week and take
All
advantage.
you can eat. Thursdays, we got karaoke. Karaoke with some great drink specials, great food specials. Friday, guess what we got Friday, Raymond? House night. All your house heads. That house DJ all night. And then Saturdays, we have the Ownership Club. We're here giving you live business one-on-one.
We got something every day of the week up here.
We here 7 days a week, baby.
This is a place to be all week long, I take it.
We extended that contract. Shout out to Van. But now, what I wanted to say is, if you've been knowing the owners of 79th Street Barbecue, they are truly a beacon of light. They're historical. In my opinion, they need their own street named after them. I'm from a town, I live in a town that the grandkids get named after them. So I'm a lobby to see how can we get a street named after, the owners of the 79th Street Bar. I'm gonna lobby for that. I'm gonna lobby for that because a lot of times people don't understand how hard it is to own a business, and most certainly how hard it is to sustain a business and to keep over and over again rejuvenate yourself. And he's giving us a platform. Him and Jill has given us a platform to speak our mind and speak our mind freely, to make money and to give back to the community. So shout out to 79th Street Barbecue. If you haven't been here, come on out. 7 days a week. We do free birthdays, so you can't complain. If we did that, Frank. We did the best car shows in the city. We did the Corvette car show. We did the car show last week, and I think we're gonna do one this Sunday. So come on out. We do a lot, and we're for business owners. So I know we got some business owners in the house. We're gonna have the young lady come up. She's the owner of a boutique. She's over there having some phenomenal drinks with our girls. So we're gonna have her come up and talk about her beautiful salon. I think it's called Dollhouse. Is it called Dollhouse? It's called that. So we're gonna have her come up in a little bit and talk about her business. She is the owner, entrepreneur. She's an amazing woman. And once you see her hair, you're gonna know she's the owner because her hair is always, they say, beautiful woman. So she's gonna come up a little bit, talk about our business, and we're gonna keep it going. So now, gentlemen, let's talk about what we want to talk about. Let's get into it. Raymond, a lot of businesses, they talk about grant writing, right? They talk about how can we as a business owner get these grants, get this free money, right? Because a lot of people want to know about this free money.
Yeah, that's actually a hot topic right now. So some of the key sources to sign up for grants. Of course, you got sam.gov where you can work on getting qualified for federal grants.
Okay.
You have helloalice.com where they have different grants all throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
You also got galaxyofstars.org.
Okay.
Where they currently have a 30-second application where you just put in your information, put in who referred you, and you can basically get into the pot to win a $4,200 grant.
Okay.
For 30 seconds of your time.
So what was that? What was those? You named three. So you dropped 3 nuggets. So what are those 3 nuggets again?
Sam.gov.
Sam.gov.
Which that's for federal grants.
Federal grants. Okay.
HelloAlice.com.
HelloAlice.com.
And also galaxyofstars.org.
Galaxyofstars.org. So I'm assuming if it's a federal grant, that's the big one.
Yeah, that's like millions of dollars.
So that's millions of dollars in grants. And what's that site again?
Sam.gov.
Sam.gov. Okay. Now I know as the grant writer for American Dream Tax and Unified Legacy and Phoenix Rising, Raymond has positioned himself. So he is a strategic grant writer for small businesses. So if you are a small business, and if you want a consultation with Mr. Batts, and if you want to figure some things out about getting some grants, how can they get a hold of you, Raymond?
Oh, you can call or text me, preferably text, initially 773-966-7598, or you can email me at phoenixrisingcorp1979@gmail.com.
Okay, good job. Now, Mr. Frank Montrose.
Yes, sir.
Now, when me, you, and Raymond get in the building, we have a lot of fun.
100.
So let's talk about what everyone is talking about, real estate, and why is it so important to get into it right now?
Well, that's a great point. Everybody's asking me, is this the right time to get in? And the answer is yes. So buyers will say, hey, I'm going to wait till the rates come down. Guess what? When the rates come down, guess what goes up the price?
Mm-hmm.
So people that have been waiting, like you look at every month property values are going up. And the reason is this, I look at 4 determining factors. I look at perception, the market perception, I look at affordability, I look at demand, and I look at supply. So let's take those principles and figure out what's happening now. So when you look at the market, interest rates just went down significantly. So in the past, Brian, rates were had gone down to 3%. So everybody thought that's the new normal, right? Everybody said, hey, I need a 3% interest rate. The problem with that is that was driven by the government. It was artificial. It was based on the government. I'll just kind of put it in a capsule here. It was based on the government buying the mortgages, buying the mortgage-backed securities, they call them. And so what happens is banks know, well, if the government's buying them, then I have no risk, so I can lower my interest rate. Then back in September of 2023, the government said, we're done buying. We were buying billions of dollars of mortgages a month. Mm-hmm. Now we're buying zero. So what happened? The interest rate went up to the new normal, which was 7%. And it actually went a little bit higher, went over 7%. So people were freaking out. People were saying, hey, the rates can go up to 10%, right? It was a farthest thing from the truth. What rates were doing were rates were normalizing back to what they used to be. The 40-year, I've been in business for 43 years, so I can talk with authority on this. Excuse me, the 40-year average of interest rate, guys, is 7.74%. So if you take that into consideration, what is the rate today? Look, I always, one thing that I do with my team is we're always bringing excessive value. So what we look for is loan officers that have the lowest interest rate. So for FHA today, if they said the national average is hovering around 6.5, I've got a guy that'll do rates at 5.875.
Say it one more time.
5.875. And if you pay 1.5 points, you get the seller to chip in 1.5 points, you get your interest rate down to 5.375. That's a game changer. Because when you're looking at a house about $300,000 and you're paying 7% interest, and then you get down to fives, you're creating $200 more back in your pocket. $200 to $300, depending on what the rates are, the rate spreads are. You're going to be looking at $200 to $300 a month back in your pocket. Yep. So that does one or two things. You can pay more bills off, save more money, or you can buy more house. Yep. Now it becomes more affordable. Here's the problem, though. So now I'm done. The long answer to your question is, what is the right time to buy? So right now, if you come to me, I'll get you a 5.875. But here's the deal. So there's that cliche out there, marry the house, date the rate. Well, why is that important? Values are going up. So if you sit and wait, so let's say you sit and wait a year, 2 years, the rates go down. Guess what? The value of the house that you're interested in buying is probably, if you wait 2 years, could go up 50 grand. That you can't erase that. But if you buy now, let's say you buy at a 7% interest rate now. You refi the 5% interest rate, you can erase that 7%. You can't erase the value. You can't say, hey, I'm ready to come in the market and pay this 5% interest rate, but I don't want to pay the extra 50 grand. You're like, too late, too bad, You can't do that. That's why you buy now. Because what happens is you build equity. Now, will you pay more if you got a higher interest rate? Yeah. But guess what? I can get you to 5.875 now. So you get the best of both worlds. And if the rates go down lower and I can get you lower, then it costs very little money to refi, and you're going to save more money. You can't do that if you wait, but you can do it if you marry the house and date the rate. You can always change the rate. You cannot change the price of the house. You cannot physically change that. And I tell you what, here's the problem. So if I go back, to my original thing, look, over 40 plus years of studying the market, what I've learned is four things. People are looking at, the perception market, which look, what happened in the fourth quarter last year? We had the lowest participation in 43 years of buying real estate. Why? Because because it was an artificial shift. When the government said, hey, we're done buying these mortgages, the rates shifted up. everybody perceived, the perception was the market is crashing where it wasn't. It was just going back to normal. Right, that's all, you know. So what? So what? So that means that people backed off. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? The world's coming to an end, right? Now, let me just tell you another important thing. And this is critical because people are saying, well, historically, right before the election, everybody backs off because they're like, hey man, what's going on?
What's going on? Yep.
These politicians are talking about raising the tax rates to 70-80%. What, this is crazy. Everybody's freaking out. Like, let me see what's going on before I invest in a house. And then I can't afford it. I'm gonna lose my job. So listen, the reason why it's different this time, because you can't just, over time, historically, when everything is plain vanilla, yes, people do get scared. But here's the problem. Here's the difference. The difference now is that rates are going down.
Yep.
And the reason why rates are going down is because unemployment is going up. Unemployment just reported in July, the highest it has been since October 2021. Now you take that, and they expect it to go even higher. The government the Fed's gonna lower the rate by 0.25% in September. They already said that. Now, because they saw the new number, because they saw what the unemployment rate is, they're talking about lowering it 0.5 point. And guess what? Look around you. You read the internet. You look at the stores in the area. People are laying off. I mean, I talked to somebody I talked to a realtor the other day in Florida. He's got a buddy that has like a middle range white collar job. So it was nothing special, but it was a decent job. He said that he had 400 applicants within 4 hours. So that the higher pay. Go ahead.
Do you see that in as far as with Keller, correct?
Yeah, Keller Williams, yeah.
Yeah. Do you see that with applicants for your office? Do you see an influx of individuals coming into?
So yeah, that's a great question. So there's hundreds of thousands of agents nationwide dropping out of the business. I mean, I just saw a stat from 2023. Loan officers, 39% of the industry is gone.
Wow.
Since 2022, 50% of the industry is gone. Half the loan officers are gone since 2022. That's crazy, bro. Now, when you think about this market, here's the beauty of it. Here's the beauty of it. Is I feel sorry for agents that got in the market when post-pandemic, when everybody was like crazy, locked up, they're like ready to buy, rates are 3%, they're going crazy, right? And values started shooting through the roof, so people start buying. The problem is this. The problem is that the agents came into business, loan officers came into business, and business was easy. Now it's incredibly difficult. So that's why everybody's leaving. The order takers, the people that are living on Easy Street, the realtors that are just door openers, that's all they do.
I think honestly, for me, I think it's easier now. Because if you've been in
Most people, yeah.
well, not even that. I'm not even getting to that point. My point I'm getting to is more people that's getting into real estate now because of more products and services. So if you go back to,
that's a great point.
If you go back to 15, 20 years ago, you had maybe 3 products, right? You had a W-2 product and you had a business product. You didn't have a self-employment product. You didn't have bank statement only 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
it just so
it's insane.
Yeah.
Programs. So that's a great point. So what's happening is see, that's the beautiful thing is that someone like Brian and my buddy Mr. Batser, they understand the business, and the business is that there's always business. If you guys get anything out of this today, anything from what I said, is there's always opportunity. I preach this gospel to my agents on my team, to my investors, is that the market is always shifting. The market is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep your pulse on the market. You have to understand what is happening in the market. You have to understand, like I think right now it's crazy busy. You know, there's top agents in the city that run all these podcasts, and they're like, the world's coming to an end. You know, historically, this final quarter, the market crashes and burns until after the election. True. Usually it slows down. However, it's different this time. It's different because there's less inventory out there. There's a huge buyer base. There's huge population. So there's a perception now that rates are going down. So people are buying. Rates are down. So people are able to get back in the game. People are able to get off the bench now because rates are in the low sixes, high fives. So now people are like, man, I really want, there's pent up demand. Like, I want to buy a house. I want to own the American dream. And they couldn't.
I don't know why they don't want to own the American dream, because we all know the rent that you're paying right now is probably equivalent to twice the mortgage.
Yeah,
I know people are paying $2,000 to $2,300 in rent. That is insane.
Yeah, Aaron on my team, before he bought, he lived in Orland Park. He lived like near 143rd and LaGrange, and he had a townhouse, a 3-story townhouse. He was renting for $2,500. Today, that's almost double, $4,500 within a short period of time. It's crazy how they can, and people are paying it.
Yeah.
People are like, well, the reason why people are paying is that Chicago, the Chicagoland area, people prior to right after the pandemic, were only paying like 30% of their income, so they could afford to pay more. So the market put that to the test.
Now they pay like $45.
Yeah. A lot of them are paying 50% of their paycheck goes to their rent because they don't have any choice. If they want to live in a certain area, have their kids go to a certain school, they have no choice. So, like to your point, why not live in a house? Even if you're paying the same amount, you're building equity.
Yep.
If you're there for 2 years, you could create anywhere from 50 and 100
rates. So, what are conventionals right now?
So, conventional is higher. So they're around 6.49. So for a strong conventional rate, we're looking at about 6.5, which is still a lot less. I mean,
that's normal.
So it was a point higher down in Chicago. It was over 7, well over 7. Conventional always runs slightly higher. When you get the conventional 3% or 5% down, it's going to be slightly higher, like 6.5. So that's the products the guys that I chase. That's what they're promoting. You can you'll probably, if you go to a standard, a lot of banks will probably hit you for 7%.
Okay.
If you're looking for for the better rates, just come see me and feel free to call me. You can reach me at 708-307-0777.
Could you repeat that again, Frank?
Sure, 708-307-0777. You don't even need to do a deal with me. I just like helping people. So you call me and say, hey, Frank, I'm buying a house. I already got a realtor. I'm good. I don't need that. But can you tell me what the best rate is? Where can I go to get the best rate? More than happy to help you. If you need free credit repair, more than happy to direct you in the people that are doing all that stuff. So, like you said, there's just so many programs that are spawning out.
Yes.
So, to your point, you bring up an incredibly overlooked point. Everybody thinks the world's coming in. But you see opportunity. And the opportunity is, so all these organizations are like, okay, so business is slowing down. Loan officers are dropping out. So what do they got to do? They've got to create programs. Now, back when things were great and things were easy, they don't need to take the risk. Now they're willing to take more risk with their money so they get more deals, so they create more money.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have the I-10 loans, the people that come over legally, and that have a Social Security number, they can get, even though they're not technically, they're still aliens, they're not a resident of this country, they can still get a loan with 3.5% down. It's crazy, man. I mean, today you can buy a loan with no money down There's grant programs out there. There's all kind. It's insane. I mean, you can buy. So let's say you live in a low to moderate area on the south side, and you're moving out of that area into a really high end area.
Absolutely.
They'll pay you.
They will pay
$7,500 to move it. They pay you $7,500 to move in the high end area. So I'm like, wait. I'm like, when I first heard this, isn't it the other way around? You're supposed to incentivize people to move into these areas, which they have that. But now they're rewarding people that buy in better in any area, as long as they're coming. They could be coming out of Englewood, out of Rosa, out of areas that that historically are considered low to moderate areas. If you're moving out of areas like that, you can get a free $7,500 grant. Doesn't matter where you live.
Doesn't matter where you live. Yep, it is insane.
I mean, some of these grants are insane. And they weren't available. To your point, Brian, when things were good, they weren't available. Why? Because banks are like, we got so much business.
We don't need it.
We don't need it.
We don't need it.
Now they need it. So
now they need it.
Yeah, now they're like, all right, I guess we'll give this money away so that we get the business. So
because they still got to hit their numbers.
They got to hit the numbers, brother. They got to keep their investors happy.
Yep. And I think, Frank, to go to your point is, you are an educationalist. You really truly educate the buyer, the seller,
yes,
as well as the empowerment of individuals to stop living poverty-stricken. And we don't touch on this a lot of times, but I want to touch on the difference between there's different types of real estate. It's single family, it's multi-unit, and then it's commercial. And a lot of times people don't, then it's private, you can go private and everything, but the three traditional, single family, multi-unit, and commercial. And the biggest transfer of wealth within those three is multifamily.
absolutely.
Because you get to add 75%. So listen to me. When I learned this one I said, you know what? I got to get a real estate. So again, I'm break this down, and I want Raymond and Frank to chime in because we all own real estate. When you're dealing with single family, they say doors. How many doors do you own, right? You buy one house, pay one mortgage, right? So if you got 10 houses, you got 10 doors, that means you got 10 tenants, right? And typically you try to, have a little bit of cushion left. But when you have a multi-unit, you can go bigger because the earning potential of the property is added in your income as projected revenue. So if you're only making $50,000, you can buy a $450,000 multi-unit because 75% of potential income gets added into your loan. You can't do that in a single family home. You can't do that with commercial because the terms are different. The rates are different. So again, multi-family is the easiest way to get into real estate. Right. You would think single family would be, because you would say, okay, well, single family, one door, one rate. No, multi-family is easy because they add that increased income even though you haven't even signed a lease. So I want you guys to touch on that. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah, just to add to what you're talking about right there, Brian, you are absolutely correct, because buying a multi-unit, this is what it puts you in position to do. Let's say you're just doing a multi-unit of a 2 or 3 unit. That's your first property. Now you're renting out your second and third. You're living on the first floor, renting out the second and third floor. The second and third floor, they're paying a mortgage, and you're getting income in your pocket on top of that. Now, what you could do is possibly do maybe a home equity line of credit or whatnot after 2 to 4 years of being in the property, get you a second multi-unit. The second multi-unit is paying for itself, and you're bringing in profit. Now, with the income you're making off of both of these, now you could go and buy you a dream home or buy your first starter home. And those multi-units are paying for that home.
Yeah, I agree. So we have a system in place, guys, called the 4321. So what we do is we try to, so there's not, multi-units is not as ready available as single families. So, but when I get somebody that buys into the system with a patient, so the first thing I do is buy a floor plan. So you move in, you can buy an FHA, 3.5% down, move in, and so you have to live in the property for a year. And then you can move out and buy another property with minimum down payment. So what you do is you buy the floor flat, you get it stabilized. You live in one unit. You have the other 3 units paying on time, showing stable. Then you go buy a 3 flat. Then you move into the 3 flat, and then you do the same thing. You stay there for a year. So we have people doing this all the time. Then the 4 flats, the 4 flat you're making money off. You're moving to 3 flat. You rent that out. Then the 3 flat you move in, you stay for a year. So this is going to take a 4+ year process. Then you stabilize that for a year. FHA allows you to move out and buy another one at minimum down payment. So you just keep chugging away. So you do 4 flat, 3 flat, then you go to a 2 flat, and then guess what? By then, those buildings are going to pay for your house. So that's the idea. So we've got people set up in place doing that now. If you're interested in doing that, give me a call, because I'll show you how you can pay for your house. So you don't even, so no landlord, no making a landlord rich, making yourself rich, and having the 4 flat, 3 flat, 2 flat covering your payment, bro.
I love
We're
it.
doing it all the time, man. I've got loan officers that specialize in this, and they tell you how to do it. And I love it, bro.
Frank, what's your number again if they want to get it?
708-307-0777. 708.
Yes.
307-0777.
Listen, Frank and Raymond, like I said, we're going to take a little break. We're going to play some music. We're going to get right back into this. We're going to talk about business credit, how to leverage business credit into real estate. We're going to jump right into that, because I know a lot of times people want to get into real estate, but they don't have the credit. So we're going to jump into that. Again, we're here at the Ownership Club, Intellectual Radio, and we're at 79th Street BBQ. And we're also going to have some small business owners come on, so stay tuned.
Dude, we're killing it before 321. The problem is finding a work